I probably just did 25 minutes of video without recording. So I'm a little bummed out. I'm a little over it. Now it feels like work because I just got off a pretty hard day's work. And I'm a little disappointed. I'm very disappointed that I did that. And I don't know, my time's limited. I got to get to bed at a certain time. I got to be in a flow, or I get pushed back. Things don't work. I'm very, very disappointed right now. But I can't be mad at God, and He's the one that ordained it. Y'all don't even know why all this is pulled up. All right. Someone recommended you and somebody's blah, blah, blah. I looked it up, didn't see where it existed. When is Jesus returning? Right after the abomination of just desolation. Michael said lucky number 11 character comes to February 3rd, which is when the bomb goes off right after Groundhog Day, when Bill Murray announces it. Antichristos, which is strong concordance, 500. And of course, Trump rode the Daytona 500 around in his limo, and they kept saying it's called the Beast, and they said it 500 times, 10,000 times. How about that? CV, the full name spelled out, is what Slevin, the character's name comes to the whole name of the illness spelled out. Masonic ritual, Babylon the Great, ritual killing, January 15, which portals back to the 5th, which I'm super high on tomorrow because of the way it lays into the 43 days, because Jesus was 43 days after his crucifixion did he ascend. Rose on the 3rd day and then was with them for 40 days. So it was a 42 days afterwards. And so it all fits that he would go up through the snow full moon on the 16th, if he will go down on the 5th tomorrow. January 9th, and we love January 9th because 9th portals over to the 11th, 9/11. And of course, January 7th, because of Aleister Crowley's book, 777, which is not why I pulled that up, by the way. I don't think I read all of these with Michael either, which is interesting. I discussed a little bit and then thought I was done and jumped down here. Have you ever looked into Teddy Perkins? Teddy Perkins is it's from the TV show series called Atlantis. We refer to it as a movie. It's a television series called Atlanta. Atlanta's area code is 404. And Teddy Perkins is the 6th episode of the 2nd season. It's a 6-2 combination. 6 times 2 is 12. 6 plus 2 is 8. I guess, we can relate to the book of 404 opening on the 8th. Or the 12th. Justin said 1/5/2022. Michael said Sexy Beast released on 1/12 in the UK and 1 week prior to Donnie Darko. And we did, Michael, you missed it, but we did actually open all that up in Wikipedia. And you might not have caught that particular video, but don't ever, assume that I've said something in a video. So I'm just glad I'd rather repeat something twice than it not come to light at all. So, and March 8th, 2002 in Spain, that's 888. Sexy Beast had several different release dates and that we went over, but we'll definitely want to go over them again just so y'all know, and some of y'all might not have seen that video, that it was released on the day after Trump's birthday, just like The Dark Knight, just after Batman Begins was released on the 15th, the day after his birthday. Sexy Beast was released after his birthday, and it was released in the year 2001, which is just prior to 9/11, of course. Sexy Beast has a runtime of 88 minutes. Yep. Appreciate that, Michael. So, and then Travis said, talked about the rollout on the 5th. And Christian talked about 3 days in a tomb. One thing he talked about was in Ghostbusters, the 2251. When you reverse it, it's 1522, which is tomorrow. That's when I think he's going down, man. Right there tomorrow. Right after they turn off the grid in the movie, the ghosts appear. Could be when they turn everything on the 5th, something similar. Men's hearts will fail them. Something comes upon the earth. I do not think anything supernatural is going to take place when Trump goes down. I think you have to get the 4 horses of the apocalypse. I think you have to get war. I think you have to get famine. I think you have to get death to 2 billion. Then he's going to return. And then the supernatural lying signs and wonders are taking place. Not that supernatural things might not take place a little bit before it. The G was rolling on the 5th. Expect a lot this week. William, the one I read here on Christian, I didn't really understand it, but it's on the theories of the Batman release date versus the date of the Dark Knight trilogy. It had that red Batman thumbnail on it. Go down and read Christian's. I read it in the previous video that I thought I was recording. And, that's why you're going to have 2 parts today. And it didn't make a lot of sense when I read it. And that's not your fault, Christian. And sometimes things just get lost in translation, or there's typos when we're typing stuff. So, and they put lines through it too. YouTube did. That was weird. I just noticed something else in the original Ghostbusters right after they shut off the containment unit. The Ghostbusters go outside. They're standing in front of police. Okay. And we already read that one too. And when I hit the hearts, I'm doing a video on them. I also told y'all. Also, if you take the day of The Matrix comes out on December 22nd, 2021, and add 19 days, it takes you to January 9th. The movie had a budget of $19 million. Also, there's a picture of Obama Michelle from the New Year's wearing 2 sets of 2022 glasses. 2022 and 2022 could be 2 2s and 4 4s. 2022. 2 weeks, 4 days, December 2nd to January 9th. Again, we like January 9th because it's 9/11 through the portal. 9 portals to the 11th. I just realized something. If you look at the original Matrix at Neo's passport, bottom right, there are 2 dates, almost like twin Trumps. I like that. The left date is 11 September, 11/19. The right side date is September 01, 9/01. If you read it backwards, the first event is 9/11 and the second is 109, which could mean that the second event, or when we open the book of Revelation, is on January 9th. And we like that because it portals to the 11th. New Year's Eve, Betty White equals 99 in Pythagorean gematria. Pelosi announces that this event, to mark the anniversary of the event, the House is not in session next week. All of the anniversary events will be live streamed. January 6th is also Little Christmas, the day the Catholics celebrate 3 wise men visiting Jesus, 6th in Ireland, 1st in January, the Scottish Highlands. Trump has Scottish ancestry. All right, there we go. And I think now we're caught up. I think Christian put the same thing down again about House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat for California, on Thursday announced a series of events at USCAPITOL next week to commemorate the anniversary of the incident. All right, thank you, my friend. I just saw supposedly January 6th is holding a press conference from Mar-a-Lago. Trump, who is waging a legal battle against the committee to block the release of the White House records, is scheduled to hold a news conference on that date at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida. The event is scheduled to begin shortly before the prayer vigil on the steps of the members of the House and Senate. 718 is Queens, Brooklyn's New York area code. We love that. We love that. We love that. Let's come over here and get Michael's hard work. By the way, we're going to get to my movie stuff too. This is a lot of my prep down here that I never got to. Golly, that's right. We didn't do my prep, we did Michael. So let's go. 601, Groundhog Day. Revelation 601. So Groundhog Day, when that clock flips over to 601, he wakes up. Then it's no longer 5:59 to 6. He wakes up, and maybe it flipped over at 6 and he woke up, but then he watched it flick over to 601. I forget what it was, but it was something to do with 601. And that's when everything changed. And he looked over and he was with Lucifer in bed. Mother Earth, that's who she represented. We showed you that when we broke that movie down. And I think that's representing that the book of Revelation is open, that he goes down. Now, again, that movie is called Groundhog Day. So that's a big date for us of him going down. And I'll tell you why. My divorce to the 88 occurred on that day. That was the last time we got rid of the 88. It's the last time I went 88 miles per hour. And I've been living that since then, like Groundhog Day, and I'll prove it to you. All right, so you see this. Let's go ahead on and save it. All right, so get rid of this. And go to desktop. Key in this 5288. This was a ticket when I went to my stepdaughter's graduation. Donald T. See the 5288? My marriage number to her mom and her mom's marriage number to me. Groundhog Day. Just constantly living it, seeing it. And of course, the stepdaughter's number even has the 88. And I've shown you all this many times, so I'm not going all the way back to the original to show you. But if you do year times month times day times year, year times month times day, you have somebody's number. That's her mom and dad put together. So Candy's original marriage number is 87. That means the next progression is 88, which was to me. Mine is 52, the next progression. And of course, that was the ticket to park the car to go to her graduation. And I don't even know what brought that up. I was showing y'all something. And okay, the thing about the Groundhog Day, reliving it, it's just constant reliving. And that's the day that I got rid of the 88. So, and it does portal over to the cold full moon, which was all about cellar door 200 or 201 or 201. I forget what it was for event 201. Just, there was a lot of stuff that came up on that date. And now I hid them. I did not eliminate them. Well, I bet you I did too. Yeah, once the date passed, I did, and I shouldn't have, because they would all come back on the portal date. But we can go back and find a video if need be when the time comes for that date. But that's 601 is the book of Revelation opening. And what his alarm clock flipped to when he realized he was no longer trapped in Groundhog Day. So that's pretty interesting. We had a deadly right eye wound numerous times in the movie, The Da Vinci Code. Friday the 13th, October 13th, 1307, I think it portals over to April 9th. So when the Templar whole thing took place, it was Friday the 13th. So what I'm asking us to do is to portal over or portal back. Let's just go 99 days. I think that's way too many. That's October 3rd. And I said, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. It's October 13th. Now that's 89. That's the next marriage number for her. And when the time comes, it'll be a date we'd look at. And there's your 49 or April 9th. It's on Barron Saturday. We'll be looking strong at it when the time comes. Better believe it. And let me see. These were Michael's that we went over in the previous. All of Michael's hard work. I don't know if I put it in the previous video that this channel, let me see if I did. I did. It was pretty much what the whole previous video was about, since it was only 4 minutes long. By the way, we did all the comments. Did we not? And is not central office the CLLI code for the facility of the New York City NYBW? The building has also been described as a likely location of the National Security Agency NSA mass surveillance hub contained Titan Point. Had to separate this because it kept getting blocked. Must not want it out. That's very interesting, Christian. And the CLLI code, look up Titan Point. That's what he's saying to do. And he broke this thing up. He's saying it is not a central office. The CLII code for the facility is that building that has no windows and it's like built like a fortress in Manhattan? That is it. That's it. It's at 33 Thomas Street. I big time wonder what that thing's all about. It's no windows. It is the weirdest looking, right? It's just super weird, man. There is no telling what that thing's all about. Appreciate you bringing that to our attention. The Brutalis architecture style is the telephone exchange, the wire center building, where it contained 3 major 4ESS switches used for inter-exchange long distance telephony, as well as a number of other switches used competitive local exchange carrier services. However, it is not used for incumbent local exchange carrier services and is not 33 Thomas Street, formerly the AT&T Long Lines building. It is a 550 feet tall, 170 meters, windowless skyscraper in Tribeca, Lower Manhattan, New York City. It stands at the east side of Church Street between Thomas Street and Worth Street. The building is an example of, so Trump has a connection to the wireless lightning tech particle accelerator earthquake machine all in New York area. Also couldn't help but noticed a few dates from February 21st through the 25th seem to pop up more than once. There is something significant around that time. Well, I bet you there is. Tesla's lab location 46 East Houston Street, but a fire was going up and the immigrant turned up famed inventor. He used electroshock equipment to jolt himself out of depression and moved to 46 East Houston Street. Here at Tesla experimented with a so-called earthquake machine, which is also a mechanical device that was turned to the resonant frequency of his lab. He had turned it on violently and shook the lab. Tesla quickly turned it off. If you know, I've heard about all this kind of stuff. Tesla's lab, 33 South Fifth Street. But in 1895 possession. I wonder how much of Tesla is real and how much of Tesla is a psychological operation. Because he's related to Trump, you know, Trump's uncle knew Tesla. I wonder if Tesla is just not a front man for the fallen angels and connecting with the fallen angels. And the fallen angels, as soon as a speaker was able to be made, the fallen angels were able to come through that speaker and tell man how to start building computer, machinery, technology, how to bring them in, how to bring about where we're at today with the gee whiz, right? So, I mean, but I dig the story, don't get me wrong, and it could be real. Are you going to put the video on another platform? Are you going to put the video on another platform? I got your message and then it was gone by the picture. I couldn't tell what you were talking about. I'm not sure what you're talking about, my dear, or my man. Mamma Mia, 2 A's, M's. She was going to watch Mamma Mia on the eve of when I told her I wanted a divorce with my first wife. My 2 ex-wives watched Mamma Mia together as I was watching The Dark Knight. And my Mamma Mia that group, ABBA, just put out an album for the first time in 40 years. So it's all related. I'm telling you, my whole life is related to Trump and these end times events. And that's what my divorce was about. And the Lord showed it all to me through numbers. Don't think the 52nd day of the year won't be big, because that was my marriage number, and that's in the heart of her number. She's 552, 55244. So the 52nd day of the year is the 21st. And if he goes down on the 21st, remember that 43 days went up to that date of me and my stepdaughter's amount of days apart we are. Remember, she's got the 886, 88, 86th, 86, the 88 in her number. And if I'm not mistaken, that goes right up to April 4th. And me and her are 13405 days apart. And I had a dream about a girl that's born on 405 that I married her. Somebody I dated. And yeah, she's just not somebody I would marry because she's, you know, not in Christ and all that kind of stuff. She's in a whole new world. But when I was in my different life, you know, it was fun. Mamma Mia, 2 A's, 3 M's, like 23, like perfect genetics. I in the middle of I am. Yeah, I am. Sure is, isn't it? That's interesting. Just something that popped in my mind. I like it, Christian. Like it a lot. I have been taken to hell, and it is the most horrible place. Mary, me and you just do not agree on hell. Absolutely, we do not. What if the Away from the Storm, White Squall didn't happen? This is a month ago, and he edited it. So I think we're done with comments here. Let's continue on. We read Michael's the other day, all of his hard work. And but we skipped my prep and y'all's comments. This was the Fibonacci sequence. Somewhere in here could be the date for when he goes down. That's all we were thinking. You've got January 12th right there. They scramble the letters around. That's right. That's what it was. It was at 5502. Oh, that's what I was showing. Because Trump and I are 5501 days apart, or 5502 if you include both dates. And that's when they were showing the Fibonacci sequence part in the movie. That's all. I don't need to bring that up or show you any proof of that. Y'all can figure that out. I'm July 6, 1961. Another right eye wound in the Da Vinci Code. Da Vinci Code again, all about the deadly wound. Did I want to get into this? Nope. No need to anymore now. Already did that. I thought that was Trump's bomb. I'm not going to get into what I think that is either. It'd be too bizarre, quite frankly, to get into that with y'all. More right eye in the Da Vinci Code. That was a completely different scene. Her right eye is utterly darkened in the scene, and I showed y'all the video, and we're going to get into my prep videos in just a second. More of Michael's hard work, but we did go over that previous video. Back to my prep, which we did not go over. I thought this picture was pretty weird. 11, 5, 11. Yeah, we know that the 11th of May is what portals back to 9/11. Here's something we should look at, just to say we did. Let's go to 9/11/2020. And add 718 days. The Porsche 718, the Dark Knight came out, and it comes to August 30th this year. It's on a Tuesday. Don't count it out. Do not count that out. Do not count that out. And if we looked at today, let's go to tomorrow and subtract 718 days and see what it lands on. January 18th, the 118 that we saw in the Dark Knight, and 18, of course, is 6 + 6 + 6. It's very interesting. It's just little things where we have to get outside the box a little bit. That 718 is a key number. That's when the Dark Knight came out, on 718. And just like there's a Porsche 911, there's a Porsche 718. So I think we need to start really looking at 718 in Gematria, 718 in Gematria, which would be the same as 18.7 in Gematria. It doesn't matter, but you know, that might give us a date. Just boom, just flat out give us a date. If it did give us one of the dates that we're looking hard at, then that's something. Now, your two teams that played in the final two games, don't forget their scores totaled in one game 33, in the other game 45. Well, 33 is Groundhog Day, 33rd day of the year, and Valentine's Day is the 45th day of the year. So in those games, they gave us those two dates. That's super fascinating. And it was Alabama on the left at Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken, which is your AC, Antichrist, Alabama, Cincinnati. Each team was represented by their letter, the A and the C. So game one was Antichrist. Game two was the men that make it happen for it, which are the G and the M. They are master blanks, right? And they are represented by that letter. So boom, what else can I tell you? They really had it down. And what the national championship game is a fusing of Satan. That's who Alabama represents, Ghost in the Machine. We've been over that a million times. And their big fraternities called the Machine. Many different people have said Nick Satan is the devil himself, and they call him Nicky Satan or the devil himself. And, you know, all these former coaches, it's all just psyops because they are the Machine. And the elephant blows the horn when they score a touchdown. Because an elephant makes a sound like a horn or a horn sound. And of course, Alabama's now playing Georgia, the G. So it's kind of a fusing of the Ghost in the Machine and the men who do its will. So blah, blah, blah. And I just told you about the scores, 33 and 45, the scores that totaled those two semifinal games. I'm not worried about Trump's mom anymore. Now, when that big scene came in, it was one of the biggest scenes in Scarface. And it was 3:01, which, you know, is her birthday, October 28th. And it seems like it all ends, I think, at 3:03 is when the event ends. Like when it all goes, yeah, 3:03. Like he's super happy. So, yeah. So we have to look at March 1st, March 3rd, because that clock sitting that big in that shot, that's for a reason, folks. That's for a reason, for a reason, for a reason. They don't put stuff like that in backgrounds of movies randomly. That's a blending of her and one other woman. I guarantee it. Herbie, of course, the 53. Kind of tired of going over that one. Michael's comments that were excellent comments that we went over in the previous video that a lot of y'all made great comments off of. Let's get back to my prep. We did go over y'all's comments. Tomorrow, the 5th, is Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles movie. I'm gonna look at this one more time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's what's written at the top then. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. That's them. So let's go back to the movie. Let's go to Wikipedia. "93 minutes, March 30th. Production company was 888 Productions. Y'all, 888 Productions put out the movie that they're playing tomorrow. It's just, I don't know. This is the company that mails videos to my gym in this certain room where people can be on these machines and watch movies because they're going to be on them for a while. Already went over that with y'all. Went over that with y'all. Well, of course, it's, yep, went over Batman. Nothing happened on that day. Pretty sure I went over that one with you. I think we're done with Michael's stuff. I think we're pretty much at just the things I need to go over with y'all. I think. Trump a descendant from Cain because, yeah, Bob Kane. I went over that with y'all. See, I got so behind in my preps that I'm doing them in sections and I'm a little off kilter. The Giant Company. Could they put demonic spirits upload into these giants, these avatars? And you literally would have giants chasing us down and killing us too. That's what I'm telling you. Soon after the abomination, Jesus will arrive. Look up, for your redemption draweth nigh, period.
Science, character, beacon for brand celebration. The Giant brings artists together and in the city.
If nothing else, they're just promoting the giants of those days. So like it was in the days of Noah and so forth. Ooh, I think these are new comments from Michael. Wednesday Addams is named after the line in the old poem called Monday's Child. No way. In the poem, Wednesday is child full of woe. Wow. Way to rock that, Michael. Good stuff, man. He did some research and some reading on that one. Nice work. Nice work. The college transfer portal started on October 15th, 2018. And that portal's over to, oh boy. Oh boy. Y'all, April 5th is when he's going down. And he's going to rise on April 7th. Day the transfer portal came out. I will be. This all goes back to the dream I had with that girl on that date and my stepdaughter's number. She's born 3 times 19 times 1998. Her number is 113886. 86 and of the 88, and she and I are days apart from when I was born to when she was born. July 6th, 1961. Y'all want my social? And hers 3/19/1998. 1998. That's the second time I've done that. Forgot to change that date. We're 13405 days apart. And she's the 86. 886. And there's that date of April 5th, which portals over. April 5th, portals back to when the Seahawks played Pittsburgh this year, which was the Dark Knight Rises when the pit was opened. Now they showed you the right eye wound before they opened that pit. So he would be ascending if he's going down on April 5th. And you've got to go up 43 days. Well, 42 days, since you cannot include the date. And he will be ascending on May 17th. And my first wife, Obama's birthday, 8 times 4 times. But Obama was born in 61, so my son is a fusion of Obama's day and my year. For number 62848 times me, 517, May 17th. I don't know, man. That's when the transfer portal, in other words, that would be when he rises from the dead. He goes into the transfer portal and then ascends 40 days later. And that dude keeps doing all those videos about May 19th as Malcolm X Day. Oh, man. If he goes. Okay, let's do this again. Donnie Darko, Donnie Darko. The day he died, he woke up on the golf course. And they said in 28 days. That's what it was. If we were to add 28 days to that date, it's May 3rd, 53. My goodness. That's big, Michael, that you put the transfer portal date 2 days before going in that direction, but going in the other direction is 2 days after. So 2 days before the Seahawks Steelers pit open martial law game declared. But when you portal back through, it's just the opposite. It's 2 days afterwards, which would match. So he goes down on the 5th and rises on the 7th. And then ascends on May 17th. Ooh, when's that full moon? Because it's right around the 16th. So he would ascend through a full moon. if he goes down on the 5th. Let's try that one more time. You go down April 5th. You go down April 5th. We're going to add 40. Let's add 43 days. No, it's 42 days. It's 42 days from April 5th because you include April 5th, and we can't do that. This one doesn't give you the ability to include it. It just add or subtract. So that's May 17th. And that full moon is on the 16th. For the 17th, it would be quite big. It's in the middle of spring. There's no snow. There's snow at the North Pole, though, and that's what he's rising through. He's rising up through the abyss. So is there snow at the North Pole year round? Yes. May Day. They love the month of May, man. It's just a spring clean for the May Queen. It's all about the May Queen, isn't it, Lucifer? Michael, you might have just opened the door right there, buddy. If he doesn't go down on the 5th, the next date where he would ascend through a full moon would be that date that we love, April 5th. Because he has to go down tomorrow to match the snow full moon, 43 days. And he would match it perfectly. And the snow full moon portals over to the eclipse. Michael, it's pretty brilliant. 28 days later. Those movies. The thing about the illness and the floods and the tsunamis, they're dropping all these red waves of the illness. What if, when they show you the flooding in New York underwater, it's really the red wave of the technology that's killing people? It's either that or the technology is just a metaphor for what's really coming. And that it's the ritual. And it's all about really just, don't get me wrong, people that have taken it have definitely set themselves up for some sort of death experience coming. Groundhog Day 2022 is 28 days after the, oh, look at that. That's so strong, Michael. 28 days after, oh. That is why I think he would go down tomorrow, because you've got to be kidding me. All right, I want y'all to think about this for a second. The reason why he would go down tomorrow is because they gave you 33 points in one of the semifinal college football championship games, where the final game is on the transfer portal. They gave you a total score of 33 and 45. Only January 5th do you get 28 days later landing on Groundhog Day, which is 33rd day of the year. Like we said, that game had the score of 33 points. And the other game had a score of 45 points. And the 45th day of the year is Valentine's Day. And that's 43 days. That's 43 days after the 5th when he would ascend. So everything matches perfectly for him going down tomorrow on Wednesday. And the motive would be that he would go down, playing golf tomorrow morning, somebody kills him. And the motive is they don't want everything he's doing on the following day to take place. Now they've moved this rollout they moved the rollout date. Oh, in certain places they have. "5G rollout date postponed." Oh, near airports, just near airports. Over airplane safety. Y'all, airplanes is what crashed into the twin Trumps. Now we like the 19th because on the 3rd day is 121. That's coded all over the Dark Knight Rises. Yes. And 119 is Donald, world ruler, and it's also a reversal of 9/11. But just because they have backed it off doesn't mean he can't go down tomorrow. Does not. All right. Brilliant work by Michael and Christian. A lot of labor from Michael and Christian. Lots of work, lots of hard work. So I'm really settling into tomorrow. We've been loving the 19th. When that time comes around, we'll start looking at, you know, adding 43 days to it and all that kind of stuff. I guess we can do that real quick. It's not going to land on anything big, like a full moon, which is what we want it to. 42 days, March 2nd. That's pretty much a new moon, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, March 2nd is a new moon. He would ascend on a new moon. It's not what iPet Goat shows us. Not that iPet Goat has to be the end all. As each day approaches, we'll go over it. But right now, the day that approaches is January 5th. And I am madly in love with that day. Have been for a very long time. As soon as I would say the second was probably the biggest for me. And the 5th and 15th were like right there. But then we started, one thing we really liked about the 5th was last year they showed us that when he goes down on the next day, we knew that there would be tons of very upset people in the streets causing RIOTSs, all over America and all over the world, which would kick off war due to the instability. Like the America would be ripe because it would be under chaos. And so that's it. We liked it because the following day was that day they showed us last year. And it ends up giving you a perfect motive since he's doing something this year. Instead of backing away from it and saying, oh, it was so bad. And, you know, I'm going to do something on that anniversary to explain how horrible my followers were. He's going to do something to champion it and to give credence to it. So there's motive for offing him while he's playing golf tomorrow morning on a golf course. Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko. How many days is it from 9/11? How many days is it from how many days from 9/11? Well, really, we would want to count days. So if we said September 11, it'll flip them around for us. It's 116 days apart. Wow. Yeah, I love tomorrow for a myriad of reasons. How many days from the solar eclipse? 32 days. How many days from 11/17? 49 days. Anyway. All right, y'all. Love you very much. Great work, y'all. Michael and Christian, everybody else, great work.